Hello and welcome back for Season 3 Episode 1 of Aberdeen FC, the Red Revival. In today's episode we'll show you a couple of games from the domestic season, starting up with Celtic at Parkhead. But before we do so, we'll get you caught up with any transfer news that we've had so far and also the performances that we've had leading into this game. So first up, the transfers. There's a couple of them coming in. We'll just show you transfers that come in as they do. If we go back to last season, because there is a tick over date, I'll just show you anyone that's left. So really the only one of note that's gone out is really Michael Svoboda. He's gone to Rijeka and he's went for 350,000. So we've made about 200,000 on him. He signed for 160k. Victor Enham's left, but he was a youth player that wasn't going to amount to much for us, unfortunately. In terms of players in, we were pretty busy early in the window. So first up, we've brought in Franco Mastantuono. Comes in from River Plate for £8 million. We have a look at him. He's going to be very likely to be playing in the defensive winger role on the right hand side. If we just compare him to the rest of the squad, he's pretty much as good. We're playing kind of Porta Nova in there, so he's just about as good as him, and he has plenty of room to grow as well. He started off the season pretty well. Good physical attributes. Good pace, stamina, good acceleration, agility and balance. Lacking a little bit with anticipation and composure, but expect that to come as he gets a little bit older. In terms of his technical attributes, he's pretty good. Good dribbling, finishing, first touch, passing and technique. Again, we're looking at 2.5 star current ability, 5 star potential ability, and at 19 years old, he's got plenty of room to grow in that position. Next up, we brought in John Kennedy from Fluminense for 8.25 million. If we have a quick look at John, he's a new striker for us, currently rated the same as Rachmani and Jude. He started off well with a double in his debut, but I think he's probably just maybe a little bit better than Rachmani, I would think. His physical attributes are very good for us, good pace and agility, anticipation, composure, decisions and off the ball and work rate are all pretty good as well. Good dribbling, finishing, first touch, passing, technique, so he looks very good for that advanced forward role. He's decent with both feet, 3.5 star current ability, but again he's only just came in, so I reckon that will probably rise at some stage compared to the rest of the squad. Next up was Giancarlo Simic, comes in from Anderlecht for 11.5 million. Again, quite a pricey signing for us, but I felt we needed a little bit more at centre back. Comes in, he's within our top 4 centre backs. I think he's better than what the star ratings are saying there. Very good physically, nothing less than a 13. Decent jump and reach and pace. Anticipation's good. He's extremely good mentally actually. Nothing less than a 13 where you would want it. Positioning's good, tackling's good, marking's good and heading's good. Again, 3 star current ability, 5 star potential, so does have plenty of room to grow for us. To look up next, we've got Callum Lyon, who came in from Greenock Morton for 475,000. Just trying to help with the homegrown quota at the club. He's only 17, but he does have a bit of potential. Does play attacking midfield, but we're going to try and train him into the pressing forward role, I think, just to give us a little bit more creativity in that role. He's very good mentally, lacks a little bit physically. Technically, he's not too bad. Again, plenty of room to grow. Currently 1 star with 3.5 star potential. I think he could turn into a good player for us. Then looking up at Andre Borza, comes in from Rapid, 2.5 million, rising to 3 million. And he's going to come in and compete at left back with that Luke Thomas injury. We needed some extra depth there, so he's pretty good physically. Pretty solid mentally as well, nothing really less than a 12 in what we're looking for there. And pretty good technically too, so I think he's a good player to come in for that left back role. 2.5 star current ability, 4 star potential at the age of 20. He's got a little bit of room to grow there as well. If we go back and look on to the next one, we've brought in Charlie Wilson from Spartans. He's only cost us £4,000, so very little risk with this move, but he's another youngster that comes in kind of central midfield area. Again, looks a little bit of room to grow there, but I think the central midfield and attack role, he's lacking a little bit in terms of his physical, but again, he's only 16. Mentally, he's pretty good for his age, and technically, good passing and technique. 1.5 star current ability, 3.5 star potential. I think he's a good player for us that can grow and help out again, as I said, with the homegrown quota. And last in before the season ticked over was Scott Boyle from Partick Thistle, 300,000 rising to 550,000. Looks a very good striker, to be fair to him. Currently 9th on the list, but a lot of the guys are wingers, to be fair. He's pretty good already, physically, for a 17-year-old. Anticipation, composure, off the ball are all pretty good. Finishing 15 is really good. Good technique as well. If we compare him just now with Eriugo, I'd say he's probably the more similar player to him. He's not too far off of him, and he's 3 years younger than him. So I think he could really grow and step into that Eriugo role if we ever lose him. But yeah, 2-star current ability, 4.5-star potential ability, pretty good on both feet. I think he's a good signing for us. In terms of the outsend for this season, we've seen previously Leighton Clarkson was already on his way out to Altawin for 9.25 million. I think we've improved on him now, and we couldn't really knock that back. Momo Mbai has gone to PAOK for 2.2 million. Again, I think we've improved at centre back, so I was happy to let him go. Imanol, I think's up next. Yeah, Imanol has gone to AAK Athens for £925,000. Again, we signed him for about 65,000, so we've made a profit on him, and I think we've improved the position. Duke's gone to Cagliari for 11.25 million. Really dropped off the boil a bit last season, so I'm happy to get rid of him now. Alex Nascimento, he came in previously in a free transfer away to Beveren for 550,000, so a small profit on him. Zeknini also came in on a free transfer previously. He's off to Alaves for £6.5 million, so we've made a good profit on him as well. Again, I think we've improved in that left wing position to have better players than him. Thomas Handel has left for PAOK as well for 1.6 million. Bit of a bargain for PAOK, to be fair. We signed him for really cheap as well. Looking at his stats, he's a good player. He just lacks that natural fitness. 240 grand we got him for, so we have made a profit on him. I think if he had better natural fitness, he'd be a wonderful player for us. Peter Ambrose never really improved much more than how he started, so we've got nearly £500,000 in for him. Luis Segovia has left to go to AFC 20 for 4.8 million. Again, I think he was another player we brought in a free transfer at centre back. Performed really well for us, but I think we're just in a position now that we've got better players in for the position. Ryan Fraser really dropped off in terms of his ability, so we've let him go for 170k to Stade Lausanne. Jamie McGrath was great for us in the first season. Second season I couldn't really find any room for him, so we've managed to ship him out to Modena and bring in £2 million for him. Xavi Grande, he actually did improve quite a bit when he was out on loan last season, but I think in terms of the right back position with Ramsey and Mikic in there, we can't really give him any game time as much as I'd like to, so we've given him out on loan. We'll make a bit of money on him as well. And really the last one I note that's gone out was Alex Lowry. He's away to Hearts for 1.2 million. We picked him up on a free transfer, didn't really have any space in the squad to use him, so we've made a bit of a profit on him. Can't really complain. We only really brought him in before for the homegrown side of things, but again I think that he just wasn't really going to cut it with the team. Wasn't growing enough in terms of his ability either, so the rest of the guys that have gone out to youngsters on loan. We brought in Rainier in a free transfer, got him in a pre-contract from Real Madrid. Looking at Rainier, he's naturally a central attacking midfielder, but we can play him in central mid, or where I'm actually looking to train him at the moment as defensive winger on the right. I think he looks very good attribute wise for that position. Comparisons to the rest of the squad, he's just as good as Portanova. He plays over on the right or in the centre mid as well position. So he looks good in terms of the squad, his ability. His attributes, he's pretty solid physically. He's very, very good mentally, nothing less really than 12, 13s in that sort of area. And technically, he's a good player as well. So he's a very good all-rounder, which makes me think he'd be really good in the defensive winger position. 3-star current ability, 3.5-star potential, good on his right foot. There's nothing to dislike about him. And last in, Jamie Lawrence comes in from Tyrrell for £4.1 million. Provides more depth and cover at centre-back position. Rated currently our third best centre-back, but I think to be fair he's probably just as good as Siebert and Cittadini. In terms of my view anyway, I think he is. 2 goals in his debut. No surprising as to why I've maybe looked to sign him. He's 6'7" with a jumping reach of 19 and strength of 15. So pretty good physically. He's a bit of a beast. Fairly good mentally as well, a little bit of room still to grow, good positioning, he's a good tackler, good with his marking, good with his heading, he's going to be a real threat from corners for us this season. 3-star current ability, 3.5-star potential, so he does have some room to grow as well. So I think Lawrence, coming in is a good signing for us and should contribute well defensively and going forward. In terms of our club finances, we're just under £30 million in the bank, so we're in a healthy position. 25 million nearly for spending money, and wage budget we've still got about 13,000 in surplus there, so we can move that around if we really need to. So in terms of the schedule, so far this season we've played 3 games, 2 in the league, 1 in the cup. Played Kilmarnock first of all at Rugby Park, Portanova, Mosquera and John Kennedy getting a double on his debut, gave us a 4-0 win on that day. Next game up was Arbroath at Pittodrie, 7-1 victory in that game. Rachmani got 4 goals for us. Rachmani got a hat-trick in that game. Wanta got 1, Riccardo and Jamie Lawrence on his debut got 2 goals from corners. Motherwell away from home then, and Motherwell get beat 2-0 in this game, an own goal by them and Jude Soonsuit Bell. So Motherwell down to the Championship now. We've played them again this season, and Arbroath got welcomed to the league with a 7-1 hammer by us at Pittodrie. Looking on to the squad dynamics, it's all looking pretty good at the moment. Team cohesion could be a little bit better, but I think we've got a good chance of improving on that the more we play together. Club vision, the board are pretty happy with us at the moment. They wanted us to spend the original budget. We've kind of done that, but we've brought money back in as well. They want us to reach the Champions League this season, so qualify for it through the league, which I think we've managed in the last 2 seasons, so hopefully we should be able to do that. They want us to develop young players, so we've signed some players in that will hopefully help out with that side of things. Play possession football, make the most of set pieces. We're playing the same formation, so that should all be covered with that. If we look at the Premiership table, again we've had our 2 games so far, 2 wins, 11 scored, 1 conceded. Celtic and Rangers have started off fairly well too. They're coming in both with 2 wins, so we're all level in points. Hopefully we'll be able to kick on further on in the season. But that will wrap up the recap from there. We'll come back with any further news that we have before we play the Celtic game. So before we move on to the Celtic game, I just thought I would show the media preview for the season, just to show kind of how we've came along from the first couple of seasons. So we're sitting 12-5, second favourites to win the league, so well in contention. Celtic are still favourites at 6-5. We've now got 3 players in the media Dream 11, Brandon Williams, Daga and Mosquera. In terms of key players, Rachmani's rated as one of our key players, but not rated good enough for the Dream 11 at the moment. Capone from Ross County is interesting. He actually looks like he could be a good player for the left wing, so I might keep an eye out for him. But yeah, I think we're making good progress in terms of our squad building. If we have a look at the media's prediction for our lineup, the line is up in a 4-2-3-1. Clearly don't watch us because that's not a formation that we've ever played at this stage of the game, but I don't think there's too many surprises in the starting lineup. Most of our stronger players are kind of showing in there at the moment. Rachmani's our key player, according to the media, and Tunion's our hot prospect. But we'll get cracking on now with the Celtic game, hopefully get a positive result.
So that brings us back then for the game at Parkhead against Celtic. We'll get looking now at the team sheet for today. We've got Dalberg in goals, Ramsey on the right, Simic and Cittadini at centre back, Borsa on the left, Tag in defensive midfield, Mastantuono on the right wing, Ranocchia at centre mid, Bricalo on left wing, Rachmani and John Kennedy up front. So we'll get the team submitted. Do think we've got a good squad at the moment. Get into the match and deliver the team talk for today. So into the dressing room, and I'm just going to say do it for the fans today. We'll get some encouragement into the team as well. Ask them to make us proud as usual. I think we've made quite a lot of good transfers. The Celtic lineup's 4-2-3-1 today, in good form. They did just lose a game in their Champions League qualifiers. But we are 4-4-2 today. 3 wins from our last 3 games. We get the game underway. As I said, I think we've got a strong lineup. Celtic look to have quite a similar lineup to last season. They did sign James McAtee, I can't remember his first name. We went in for him on a free transfer, but he chose Celtic over us unfortunately, and he looks a good player, so we'll see if they end up using him. I think we would have. Got Celtic coming forward here on the 14th minute, and unfortunately Kyogo has turned it home. That's quite a good goal there from Celtic, good counter attack, and it puts us on the back foot quite early on here. We've not even had a shot on goal as of yet, unfortunately. Celtic then with another highlight, coming forward through Eriksson, and Borza cuts that one out to Rakmani, out to Ramsey. Develop a bit of space here. It's a poor pass, very poor pass actually. Lost possession again, Celtic building out from the back again. Managed to cut that out, Borza yet again, anticipating movement well there from the winger. So it's now our turn to try and build it out from the back. Cittadini to Daggett. There is some space elsewhere if needed. John Kennedy, but I think he might have been offside there. Looked to have a little bit too much space. Getting checked at the moment, and it's been disallowed unfortunately, so we're back to 1-0 to Celtic. So we're not really performing as well as we can at the moment. Celtic now with a free kick. Imagine Eriksson will be the one taking it. If we could get on with it, that would be lovely. Yep, Eriksson to take it. It's skimmed the top of the crossbar. So yeah, we're not performing well at all today. Still just the one shot we've had. Carlos just had the second, but not one of any note. In fairness, a couple of bookings for us as well. They are struggling today. Corner though in the 44th minute. Ramsey to take it. He swings it in. Doesn't come to anything there. Bricalo has managed to turn it home from the edge of the box. So we're back to all square. 1-1. Quite a good goal actually from Bricalo. I don't know if it took a wee deflection on the way out there. We come into half time, back level, probably didn't deserve that. I'm just going to tell you side I'm not happy with how they're performing today. I think we could be doing a lot better here. Hopefully we get some sort of reaction for the second half. Strikers haven't really done a great deal today. We do come back out there in the first 10 minutes of the second half. Very little's happened. We've had a couple of chances from the looks of the stats. Nothing of real note at the moment. Probably look to make a wee change or two in a little minute or so. Yeah, we'll make a couple of changes for the last 20 minutes of the game. We'll get Kennedy off. We'll bring on Jude. I think we'll get Ranocchia off for, say, Ryanair today. Let you have a look at him. Simic isn't really performing today, so I'm going to bring on Siebert. Switch him around. I think Cittadini's a better ball playing defender of the two. And I think we'll bring Borza off for Brandon. Hopefully this will make some sort of difference to the side. A few players not performing well, and Jude's just picked up an injury straight away, which is ideal. There you go. Can come on then for the rest of the game. I was ideally wanting to change one of the wingers later on as well, but you can't help that I suppose. We're still sitting at one each here. There's another injury, unbelievable. Right, okay. I think then we just need to go with the one up top. We don't have any subs left. See what happens. Don't have anyone I can push into the striker position either. Usually when I go down to 10 men I'll play a 4-3-2. We've got a corner here in injury time. Mastantuono to take it. Don't have anyone coming short for the corner here. We usually do it. Swings it in. And Jamil Siebert has turned it home for us in injury time. We'll see if that's enough to win us the game. Be very impressive as it is, if it is enough, but we have got another injury time highlight here for Celtic. Dagger tries to swing it out wide. Celtic are coming forward with Scales, Johnston, Almiron and Eriksson has scored an absolute beauty to make it 2-2 in the 94th minute. See this quite often in the game, that there's quite a lot of injury time goals, but 2-2 and they end up, not the worst result in the world. Could have won it there with that Siebert goal, but couldn't keep our concentration after kick-off, and we'll take that on anyway. So I'm disappointed that we didn't win the game. In the league table in terms of that, keeps us 2 points off of Rangers, but we have at least played at Parkhead. So again, not the worst case. What we'll do is we'll come back then for the Dundee United game at Pittodrie, and then we'll maybe show deadline day, depends how busy it is. We might just give you a recap on any business that happens on the day, just to keep the video a little bit shorter. Yeah, we'll come back anyway for the United game.
And so it's annual striker injury crisis as Rachmani picks up some broken ribs from the Celtic game, out for 6 to 8 weeks. Getting tackled, picked up that injury, and he's lost a little bit of his bravery as well. Jude Soon-Suit-Bell. So those are our two pressing forwards. He's twisted his ankle, 4 to 5 weeks he's out for, which is just ideal. He's not lost anything, thankfully. So yeah, that's not great. Second season in a row we've had an injury crisis for strikers. And so the Champions League fixtures have been announced as well for the 25-26 season. So this is our second season in the competition. And first up we're going to have Ferencváros away from home, Hungarian side. We also go away to Napoli, so that's going to be a tricky one. We've got Man City at home, a repeat of last season's quarter final for us. We then play Leipzig away from home. Should be a tricky one as well. Besiktas at home is a game we might be looking as a potential game to win. Same with the Young Boys game at home. And then we finish off with 2 tricky games away to Man United and at home to AC Milan. So it's a tricky run of fixtures there. I think there's kind of 3 winnable games. The ones we'll really be targeting: Ferencváros, Besiktas and Young Boys, to get our 9 points at least to get us through to the playoff round. And as we can see, we've got our 12.7 million in, which helps with the balance, so we're up to 41.3 million. But we'll move on now to the Dundee United game.
So we're back then for New Firm Derby against Dundee United at Pittodrie. We'll get a look at the team sheet for today, which will be Dahlberg in goals, Mikic at right back, Citadini, Siebert at centre back, Williams at left back, Watson defensive midfield, Portanova on the right, Hannibal in centre mid, Mosquera on the left wing, Eriugo, partner Kennedy up front today. So we've seen those 2 injuries to Jude and Rachmani, so we need to make a change up top. Both of them usually occupy the pressing forward position for us. So into the dressing room, tell the side have been on a good run, back to the standard. Hopefully get off to a strong start today in this fixture. So we line up today for the 4-4-2 formation that we're familiar with. And Dundee United come into this with 4 draws in their last 5 and a 4-2-3-1. So get the game underway. And we do have a highlight straight from kick-off. Just kind of patiently building this around at the moment. Hannibal storming forward, plays it through to Eriugo, who pulls a good stave off of the goalkeeper. It's out then for a corner to be taken by Hannibal. Swings it in and Citadini puts it just over the crossbar. So off camera we did get a bid in for Rachmani, which has triggered his release clause from Stuttgart, so we might end up losing him. I'm not going to bother giving him a new contract. He has been really good for us, but I think we could still improve on him. As we have another highlight here in the 10th minute. Mikic back to Citadini. Again, building for play here. Kennedy scores, but it may have been offside there. I think he might have went a little bit too early. And it's been disallowed, unfortunately. So back to all square. We've started the game fairly brightly. Dundee United though do have quite a bit of possession so far. Haven't really done much with it. In fairness, we've not done a great deal either at the moment. So hopefully we get something from the boys before half time. Corner here from Hannibal. Siebert rises highest and turns it home for us to give us the 1-0 lead. So 30 minutes into the game, we've been pretty much dominating things. We've not created anything clear cut at the moment, just that corner of note so far. As we have another highlight here in the 36th minute. Portanova coming down the right, takes it by his man there, swings it in. Kennedy, not the best header, not really what we have him for, to be fair. It would have been handy if he could have turned that one home though. Dundee United now coming forward, and we've cut that one out of Brandon Williams. Out to Mosquera, swings it in, but it's a poor cross in the end up, and it's claimed by the United keeper. Tries the long ball forward. It's dropped down for United, but we've won the ball back. There, good challenge in midfield. Hannibal coming forward, taking it wide. There you go, another good save there from the keeper. The strikers have had chances today, just haven't been able to take any of them. Hannibal swings in a corner. Mosquera over, and Portanova's turned it home at the back post to give us a 2-0 lead. I think we've probably deserved that. The balance of things, we've not even seen a highlight today for Dundee United. No shots on goal for them as of yet. So we have another highlight here. Williams swings into the back post. Portanova heads it over the crossbar. Checking out the last few minutes then of the half, into half time, we're 2-0 up. Decent performance, tell the guys are doing well, but can likely do better. See if any of our strikers can get any improvement in the second half. I've got another highlight here quite early on. United won the ball back there. It looks like that's a terrible challenge. And Hannibal's just got himself sent off, unfortunately. So we need to go into the tactics. Again, as I've said before, but this tactic seems to still work quite well with the 4-3-2 formation. So we'll just stick at that for now. I think the reason it works so well is because we've got that defensive winger on the right. Does come in to help out with defending, and the inverted winger as well. Obviously cuts inside, so keeps himself in a central position. We get Kennedy on the ball now in the 58th minute. Williams cutting in from the left hand side. Now he goes wide. It's a good thing with the complete wing back, they kind of just do whatever's best, and there you go, turns it home to make it 3-0. So they will cut in and they will stay wide at times. Complete wing back, so it's a decent position, especially for someone like Brandon Williams who's right footed and can hit with his left as well. So Dundee United haven't really capitalised on the fact we've went down to 10 men. They've conceded and they've only had the one shot on goal now, which went off target. As Watson cuts that pass out, plays it through to Kennedy, and potential for a penalty here. Looked as though he won the ball, in my view there, but we'll see. Sometimes the visuals from the match engine aren't always great, so you don't know. So yeah, we have got a penalty, and up steps Mosquera to take it, who blasts it home to give us a 4-0 lead. So I'll probably look to make a couple of changes in a minute or so. Maybe wait till about the 70th minute to make them. So we'll get them done just now. And Kennedy's not really performed at his best today. Williams is on a booking, so we'll get Borza on. And I think as well we'll bring Renier on. Still trying to train him for the right hand side, so we'll give him some game time out there just now. So last 20 minutes, Renier has a shot from a free kick and gets a corner from it. Corner to be delivered from Borza. Swung in, and Dundee United are now on a counter-attack, and that's a professional foul there from Squera, who picks up a booking for it. Into the last 10 minutes, we've just had another couple of guys picking up bookings, so I might look to just calm it down a little bit. We'll bring Bricalo on for him. We'll get Daga on for Watson. Of course, right after I do that, Rainier picks up a booking as well. So into the last few minutes of the game, injury time corner, up and Siebert gets on the score sheet again as well here. It's the second goal of the game to make it 5-0 for us. Pretty straightforward game. We performed probably better after the sending off, in fairness. We've got 3 goals since then. So yeah, good performance again today. 5-0 win against United. In terms of match stats, we absolutely dominated the game. We did only create one clear-cut chance, which is odd for a 5-0 win. But we've performed pretty well. Obviously 2 corner goals and a penalty. Dundee United very restricted in the game. Just 2 shots the full game. So in the dressing room, tell the guys we've done very well. Just got a quick kind of glimpse at the league table. Puts us top. Rangers and Celtic do have games in hand, but we're in really good form again this season. See how we get on throughout the remainder of the season. Up next, I'm not sure. We'll see how much action there is on deadline day as to whether I show you the full deadline day or whether I just give you a recap of what's happened on it. It really just depends on kind of length of the video, so I might just do a recap, but we'll see anyway. We're back for deadline day before we wrap up the video.
So the transfer deadline has now passed. I didn't want to show transfer deadline day because there just wasn't really enough happening in it. We'd pretty much settled on our squad. If we have a quick look at the transfer history, we can show there's no one else who's came into the squad and no one else has left the squad other than Lucas Dupe, who's gone to Motherwell. He was a young player we signed in the first season, but he had 2 nasty injuries and didn't quite develop as we would have liked. The only kind of news that we did have that could have been detrimental to the side was that Rachmani, who does have a 9.25 million release clause in his contract, did have an offer come in that matched that value. So we got a little bit panicky and we were scrambling around looking for a new striker on the off chance that Rachmani was going to leave, but that never came to fruition. He decided that he wanted to stay with Aberdeen despite the low wages that he's on. But just to show you who we were looking at to bring in, which would have been an interesting one and some nice nostalgia as well, as we were looking at Bojan Majowski to come in to fill the boots of Rachmani. And as we can see here, he actually got his work permit granted for a loan move, but we had to cancel it because I didn't want to have too many players for the striker position for the rest of the season. Was a shame. It would have been nice to have him back, but I think Rachmani, in the grand scheme of things, is a better option. And Majowski ended up joining loans instead. So didn't have any further games to update on prior to that. We've got Ferencváros up in the Champions League, but I think what we'll do is we'll play through that game off camera. It's not an elite game, there's not too much point in showing it, and we want to whittle the episodes down a little bit. And what I think we'll do is we'll play all the games off camera all the way up to the Napoli game away from home. We'll get the Napoli game into the next episode, and we'll also get the City game at Pittodrie in that episode as well. So that wraps it up for episode 1. Hope you've enjoyed the episode so far and you continue to enjoy the rest of the series. But again, don't forget to subscribe for any future content, and remember to comment, like and share the videos to help out with the algorithm. Thank you.